In a concert amassed with idol fanatics, Jiru and Nero are the ones performing. They are known as the infamous masked idol group Masquerade and have a huge fan base. No one knows their true identity as they are wearing masks all the time, and this mystery is like magic for their fans. Among these fans is Issa, who, despite being a guy, is madly in love with Nero and calls him his prince. You can basically see the glitter in his eyes when he's looking at Nero. His voice is like a drug for Issa that takes hold of his heart and doesn't let go. During the concert, Issa is shouting and rooting for his prince like other fans, but to his surprise, Nero glances at him, which makes him fall in love with him even more. But wait! At this moment, Issa is not at the concert. He is just imagining all this as his friend smacks him back into reality and questions if he is thinking about Nero again, to which he starts giggling. My man is a die-hard fan at this moment. He might as well sleep at the concert venue. Seeing this, his friend asks if underground idol's really that good, to which Issa replies by asking to accompany him during their next concert and excitedly shows him their new music video. His friend then mistakenly praises Nero by calling him cool, which triggers something inside Issa, and he starts shouting, praising Nero's voice with all his might. Hearing this, his friend asks him to stay quiet as there might be some people involved, and if they figure out that a normie is going to attend the event, he might get kicked out. Oh! I haven't told you where they are going, by the way. Issa and his friend are headed for a high-class members-only club where celebrities, especially from the entertainment industry, like to hang out. Being an alumni of a famous fashion school and as someone who works as a stylist in the entertainment industry, Issa's friend brought him along instead of someone else. Being an idol fan, this is a dream come true for Issa, and he's excited to meet famous celebrities or at least get a glimpse of them. Upon reaching the club, Issa starts shouting because it is too loud there, but his friend asks him to not get carried away by this atmosphere. Issa, however, pretends not to hear him because of all this noise, as his friend further tells him to not get lost since it is a big place. I would be embarrassed if I was Issa's friend. Duh, he's like a little kid at Disneyland. After grabbing a drink, Issa starts looking around to see if he can spot any famous celebrity, even though it is extremely dark to see and he can get lost. As he is looking around wondering if he can become a top-rated designer and become a regular member of this group, he realizes that he is lost. I knew this was coming, lol. Now that Issa is lost, he is wandering around, trying to find his friend, and in the meantime, someone bumps into him, spilling his drink in the process. And the interesting thing is that he ignored Issa despite bumping into him, which angers Issa, and he follows the guy into the backstage. He keeps calling the guy, but he is not listening, so Issa had to stop him by putting his hand on his shoulder. The guy turns and questions the reason behind this action, to which Issa replies by asking him to apologize. The guy stares at the stain on Issa's shirt and realizes that he bumped into him, but didn't realize as he was on his phone. Issa understands his position, asking if he is alright and if he washes this ugly stain somewhere. The guy stares at him for a while and asks him to follow him, aspiring that he will get the stain out. The strange dude takes him to a suspicious room and sits besides, asking him to take off his shirt. Issa is confused as to what this guy is talking about and states that there is no need to take it off. Apparently, the strange dude has some other intentions, as he misinterpreted Issa's words and starts touching him inappropriately. He accuses him of spilling the drink on purpose as an excuse to fool around with him. Issa tries to deny all this, but the guy is not listening. Issa has realized that the guy has misinterpreted his intentions and that something horribly wrong is going on here. The guy, on the other hand, apologizes to Issa in an ECCHI manner and starts licking his ear, questioning if he has sensitive ears or if he likes when he talks mean to him. Issa wants to get out of this situation, but he can't seem to as the guy continues touching him in an inappropriate manner, and this is where the real fun begins as the guy takes off Issa's pants, stating that his underwear is also soaked. He realizes that Issa is also getting turned on by all this and comments that even though he looks innocent, he likes it dirty. Issa is still shocked as to why he is getting turned on by a freaking guy. To be honest, I'm confused as well. Issa once again tries to deny this, but the guy is not listening to him as he starts taking his own clothes off, stating that he wants to enjoy this too. He takes off his underwear as well, and with this, both of them start enjoying each other. Even though Issa is not comfortable, he is doing as the pervy guy tells him to do, and as the guy keeps talking, Issa realizes something. He realizes that this guy's voice resembles that of his prince Nero, but his conscience denies it as he believes that Nero is an innocent guy and won't do anything like this. And of course, as their hairstyles are different. Well, I'm pretty sure you can change your hairstyle for different events. No, the guy keeps talking to him and turning him until the point both of them burst. I'm pretty sure you guys understand what I'm saying, right? As soon as they finish, Issa scoots away from the pervy guy as he stands up and starts walking away. Issa still can't comprehend what just happened and is still thinking about Nero. For him, Nero is the prince who can't do anything like this as he is everyone's prince. Despite this, he somehow gathers the courage to question his identity. After some time, Issa's friend discovers him in this room alongside a pervy dude, shouting that he has been looking for him all this time and questions his presence there. He then grabs his hand and takes him away. As they are leaving the room, Issa turns back and takes a last look at the pervy dude, wondering if he is really the prince he admires. Following all these weird events, Issa can't help but keep thinking about that pervy, wondering if he is really Nero as their voices are exactly the same. However, he is not sure about that as Nero is like a prince for him and can't do something like that. As he is sitting in class lost in thought, his classmate snaps him back into reality as she questions his project. She then notices Issa drawing Nero and remembers that he wants to make costumes for the masquerade. Issa, however, is still thinking about that pervy dude as he cannot focus on his studies while thinking about him. Later that day, Issa reaches that same club hoping to meet that pervy dude, but the guards deny him entry as he is not a member. Much to his surprise, the pervy dude appears out of nowhere and takes him inside that same room and questions his presence there. Issa is surprised that he still remembers him, to which the guy responds positively, commenting that he is the little guy who made a weird pass at him. Issa wants to say something back to him, but ignores it and gets back to the real deal. He questions him regarding his real identity and if he's Nero from the masquerade, but the guy completely denies it and questions who Nero is. Issa tells him that he's an idol from some underground band, and hearing this, the pervy dude tells him that he doesn't know them. I'm pretty sure he is lying. My man legit looks like that good-for-nothing prince. Issa tries to argue, stating that his voice is quite similar to Nero and that "well done" is Nero's catchphrase. He further tells him that even if he is Nero, he promises to not reveal his identity, but the guy keeps on denying. Issa realizes that he got it all wrong and apologizes for all the trouble. Now, the pervy dude suddenly questions him what if he was Nero, then what was he planning to do? He also accuses Issa of mistaking him for being Nero before they made love with each other, but he completely denies it, stating that he had really spilled the drink and that it was his fault for misinterpreting his words. He further tells him that he just wanted to confirm his identity because their voices are extremely similar and that if he comes here, he might be able to meet him again. Hearing this, the pervy dude also apologizes to him and further tells him that he is not Nero. As Issa is about to leave, the pervy dude asks him to join him for a drink since he's come this far, and as Issa is about to say something, the guy asks if he doesn't care about him since he's not Nero. This shocks Issa and he decides to join him for a drink and starts asking him random questions like if he visits this club often and if he belongs to the entertainment industry. As they are conversing, the pervy dude starts touching his ears, startling Issa, and comments that his ears really are sensitive. He then suggests that they start where they left off previously, stating that they just fooled around last time and that his friend is not here to disturb them. With this, he starts licking his ear, asking if he enjoyed it last time, to which Issa replies by ordering him to cut it out as he is not into this stuff, but the pervy dude is just too pervy for him to handle as he questions him if he hates sex. Issa has no answer to this question as he wonders why he feels strange whenever he hears this pervy guy's voice. Even though he knows that he shouldn't be doing something like with a stranger, knowing that it would turn out like last time, he can't seem to differentiate this guy from Nero. With all of this going on, the guy takes off Issa's underwear and asks him to lift up his butt. At this point, we all know where this is going, right? I won't go into the details though. Issa realizes that the pervy guy is touching his butt and asks him to stop, but he is not cooperating. The guy tells him that he will be gentle and continues the act. Despite being a guy, Issa can't resist him just because his voice resembles his favorite idol. I mean, how does that even work? The pervy guy asks Issa to relax as he is going to commence the ultimate ACT. And even though it is painful, Issa is not complaining as the guy tells him that it will get better with time. The guy asks him if he should stop, but Issa has no proper answer to that, so he decides to keep going. After some time, they had to stop for reasons we all know and fully understand. Issa finally realizes that he has done something terribly wrong, and even though he hasn't done it with a female, he has already done it with a freaking man. Seeing this, the pervy dude asks him if he likes that Nero, which triggers something inside him Issa, and he starts praising Nero, telling him that he really loves him. He further tells him that Nero is his prince and that his heart starts racing whenever he hears his voice, and listening to him brightens his mood. He also announces that if it's Nero, he can do anything for him. Now, this is where the interesting part begins. My man starts explaining his entire life story even though the pervy dude is not interested. He tells him that he has always been a grandma's boy, as she was the one who raised her in the absence of his parents. She also taught him sewing and making clothes, and this is how he ended up in the fashion industry. However, following his grandma's death during his high school days, Issa fell into depression as there was a huge gaping hole in his heart and he used to cry every day. But, one day, his friend took him to a concert where he fell in love with Nero. Nero was the one who helped him get rid of his depression and brightened up his lonely life. Hearing this, the pervy dude also praised Nero slightly, and this marks the beginning of Issa's endless Nero simping as he starts praising his dancing skills, his singing skills, and how they somehow make him feel warm from the inside. He also tells him that Nero looked at him at the concert when he called out for him. The pervy dude then questions how they made eye contact when Nero wears a mask, which shocks Issa as he never mentioned a mask, but the guy tells him that he noticed Nero's picture on his phone, so he knows. The pervy dude then introduces himself as Yuzuru, and Issa also formally introduces himself. As they are conversing, some other guys enter the room and comment that someone else is here before them, questioning his identity. After settling down, they order some drinks and Issa decides to leave as he is not feeling comfortable among them. Upon leaving the club, Issa realizes that the room he was in is known as a hookup room, and this is what celebrities do during their free time. He then notices something inside his pocket, and much to his surprise, it was a card with Yuzuru's name and mobile number. Issa knows that this guy is not Nero, but his heart is still racing for him. What is this pervy Yuzuru guy up to? I still believe he is Nero and he is just lying. Let me know if you guys want to know what happens next.